So for this month's update, I want to make you aware of something called MC and SC. So earlier this month, new Google Content Quality Guidelines came out, and they're mostly talking about sites that publish things like recipes or crafts, some other similar types of content as well, types of websites. So let's talk about recipes. If you've ever searched for a recipe online, you might be well aware, very annoyed like I am, about how long a blog post is when you're just trying to find a simple recipe. So for example, say you wanted to find a buffalo chicken dip recipe. You click on one of the top hits, and instead of seeing the ingredients and directions right away, you have to scroll through tons of content about how this person's grandma made this recipe in 1950 and she was the first ever to create it. It's like this whole life story. Then you also might scroll past ads and pictures and fillers and generic information or common knowledge about how raw chicken can have salmonella in it, all in this buffalo chicken recipe page. There's just tons of fluff before you actually get to the recipe. And yes, a lot of sites do have the jump to the recipe button, but some are very glitchy or they're not easy to find or it doesn't really still take you to where you need to be. And the same goes for something like a craft website. So say you're searching for a Valentine's Day toddler sensory bin activity that uses pasta. Many times you'll come across an article where they have this really drawn out explanation about Valentine's Day traditions at their house, and then they share some common knowledge like, you know, dried red lentil pasta adds a great red color to your Valentine's Day sensory box. It's like, duh. Then finally, once you scroll through all that stuff, you get the information on what you're looking for, how to create this Valentine's Day sensory bin. There are other websites, like I mentioned before, with similar strategies. But the bottom line is these websites, these craft or recipe websites and similar websites have been getting away with this kind of strategy for years. But really, what's the result of that? It's a very bad user experience, right? It's scrolling, it's like too much. It's just not helpful. However, now search engines are really looking at how well these type of content can answer user intent. So now they're starting to classify content within any given article as MC, which is main content, and SC, which is supplemental content. So MC, main content, should address the reader's intent or original purpose of coming to that article, whatever reason they were searching. So in the case of a buffalo chicken dip recipe, the main content is the ingredients list, the step-by-step instructions, and maybe some expert tips and tricks to make the recipe even better. And then we can break down MC, main content, into helpful MC, which is the content that really helps us make the recipe, and filler MC, which is content that is related to the main topic, but not necessarily helpful. So for example, do we really need to be reminded that the chicken in our buffalo chicken recipe should be fully cooked to reduce the risk of salmonella? Probably not. SC, which again is supplemental content, as well as ads or other plugins that appear on these pages and really clutter up the page, all of those things should be minimized throughout the article. And then the difference between SC, supplemental content, and then filler MC, filler main content, it's sort of a little bit of a gray area, but they both don't directly support the initial search intent. So for example, SC content or filler MC content on a buffalo chicken dip recipe might be some kind of multi-sentence explanation about other recipes that use buffalo chicken. And you see this a lot, right? It'll be like, check out my other recipes. And it's like an explanation, like a paragraph within that content about why the buffalo chicken pasta is great and how you should try buffalo chicken sliders. So the person who originally came to this page was looking for a dip recipe. So filling the page with content about other chicken recipes will most likely not serve them. So it's like those excerpts of like related content, which would be considered SC or filler MC. So to break all of this down, Google is basically giving a few recommendations. One, your content should be formatted to best address the user's search intent or goal. I mean, that's been what Google's been saying for years now. Helpful MC, helpful main content, should be placed close to the top and or be very prominent so it's seen easily and quickly. And the reader needs to be able to find exactly what they were looking for right away. No burying it down on the page. So in the case of a recipe, really those recipes should be bumped up to the top. Filler MC, SC ads, other fluff should be taken out completely or minimized as much as possible. Or if it does need to be there, placed below all the helpful main content. The bottom line is that this low quality content inflates the word count on the page in order to trick search engines into thinking that you're going so in depth about this topic. And, usually if you have a lot to say about a topic, you're probably an expert. So that's how it's like tricking the search engine. Otherwise, it's just filled with fluff and common knowledge. And it's tricking the search engine into thinking, you have so much to say, you must have a new idea or have a specific angle in your content or offer really in-depth expertise, advice. And that's not the reality of what these recipes, websites, or craft websites are doing. So if the only takeaway from this video is for you to continue thinking about creating helpful, unique, insightful content that actually addresses the reader's intent, if that's all you take away, good. But I thought I wanted to break down this MCSC stuff because it's been a little bit more defined in the recent month.